Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Tings, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx, and I'm here to take care of the Toro, or snapping turtles. I don't know. I just came up with that. Taurus, if you're new to the channel, welcome. This reading here is an review. If you have Taurus as a sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node, or south node sign. Quick shout out to my Etsy shop. Check out the new gear, the new merch. This is a Taurus symbol with the bull in the middle. Happy birthday to all the Taurus sons out there. Bull gang, 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 gang. I don't even have y'all in the frame. Let me see. Where's Taurus here? There we go. Let's bam. But yeah, so happy birthday, Taurus. Hope you guys are feeling good. I know we are in Mercury retrograde, so please, please, please remain calm during your birthday, and also be very vigilant about your finances. Even though it's Taurus season, you want to enjoy life, you want to eat out, you want to buy a bunch of stuff, you want to, please still just be careful because we're in retrograde. So keep it at a minimum, or like really just focus on things that you really, really want at this time. All right. So let's get into your reading, Taurus. I think that's the only announcement I had for right now. One more other thing possibly for that could resonate with you if you have Scorpio placements. I do have a Scorpio only group tier cult thingy on Patreon, and I'm going to start a 28-day shadow work workshop May 1st. So if you have Scorpio placements as well, please join that if you feel like you need some extra assistance or guidance with shadow work and how to navigate those types of things. Okay, so let's see the blunt truth for Taurus. What do you need to hear right now? They don't care. Move on. Communication coming in. Okay, so let's see. They don't care. Move on. Let's see what that is in regards to. What is they don't care? Move on. And then you have communication coming in. Casper, the scared ass ghost. Communication coming in. Let's see what that's about. Daddy issues. Fact check. Okay. So you have relocation. Some of you are going to be moving, or you may get some information surrounding a certain move for some of you. But they don't care. Move on. I kind of get that this is possible that it's about a particular person. But for some of you, I feel like a lot of you, this can also be about like you wanting to do something with career or job or something you're wanting to do, an opportunity, but you're very much worried about how other people are going to feel, or you're very much worried about how other people are going to perceive you. You have buck the system. So it's telling you that you don't need to worry about like how other people are going to think, if they're going to judge you, if they're going to whatever, who cares? Like nobody's going to, they're going to forget about it eventually, or they're not going to, like, it's not going to affect them forever. So you might as well do what you want. Right. But then you have communication coming in that you want to fact check. We are in retrograde. So there is a lot of miscommunications that can be very likely to be swirling around. You want to double, triple, quadruple check things as far as like sending emails or communicating through text message. Like you want to make sure that you know what's going on, or your communication is very direct, very assertive, very clear. Okay. And some of you may find that you could get ghosted, or you could have gotten ghosted on something that you were trying to do with someone. Could be a job thing, but there's some type of communication that's coming in that you want to really double check about. All right. We'll look more into what that could be soon. But let's see, what is the shadow work, or what is hidden for, I was going to say Capricorn. Oof. You have 3 of Cups for what is hidden in May for Taurus, the Magician, and 3 of Cups. So let's see what the little book says. Let's see what the little booklet says. Magician. We'll look at Magician first. The Magician represents choices and creative problem solving, and how we form a connection between imagination and reality. Purposeful, orderly action, and the ability to influence reality. So this came out like sideways. So I'll read both. So Upright would be choices, problem solving, diverse knowledge, solutions, and cleverness. Reverse is conning, mistakes, lack of understanding, and arrogance. So that's something for the shadow there. Now let's look at the cups real quick so we can see if I can find the cups. Okay. Gather your closest friends and celebrate. Wish fulfillment, time of joys and passion, celebration, collaboration, and sharing. So Three of Cups typically is a very happy, pleasant card, but it's in your shadow work. So for some of you, I feel like you're having a hard time celebrating, especially if it's your birthday. Like you're having a hard time like focusing on fun. Maybe there's other things going on, health related, job related. You're like, ugh, I got so many other things to worry about right now. But it's very imperative that you still include lighthearted energy, you still include playfulness, and you don't get so caught up on like just work, or I gotta fix this, do this, and all this other stuff. Okay, so try to have fun in the midst of all the craziness and the chaos and the confusion, and make sure that you're doing things the right way. Magician card, like you're able to manifest, even though we're in retrograde, but the things that do manifest in retrograde can come with some other nuances or things that you may overlook. So you just want to be careful. Like I mentioned, you just want to double check things. You want to make sure that you're really focusing on things that you really want, not that you think you want. Okay. This retrograde is typically a time for reassessment and revising, and before you just launch things, before you just go forward and jump forward, it's like a chance to correct any mistakes or things that were overlooked in your relationships and communication and contracts and jobs, and like figure out how to move forward. Okay, it's not the best time for starting new things because of that reason. But let's look into communication coming in and fact check. What is this communication surrounding for Taurus that they need to be very observant about? Whoa. What is this communication about for Taurus that they need to be very observant about? You have self-love. What is this communication about? Unfinished business. You have letters in name, A, S, H, L, or N. That always comes out. A water sign, a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Oop, you have ex or past love. Please. What else do we have for Taurus? What kind of communication is coming in? They need to. The truth will come out. Okay, so we're just going to pause it right there. You have unrequited or unbalanced. Okay, so this is for the Taurians out there. If you are expecting a past love to come back to you or somebody from your past, a lot of you, because the retrograde is in the sign of Taurus, the retrograde themes are really going to impact you the most. So many of you could be having this communication coming in from a past friend, a past family member, a past love person. Okay. But it doesn't really look worth it to me. You have ex or past love, especially if it's from a water sign. You have unfinished business here to tie up some loose ends, or somebody feeling like they want to tie up loose ends with you. The truth will come out, right? But then you have unrequited or unbalanced. So even though this communication does come in, it looks to be going out just as quickly as it comes in. So maybe somebody comes in and they're like, hey, I want to work on things with you, or I want to apologize to you, I want to do X, Y, Z with you. And then you're like, okay, and then it's gone. And then they're gone again. So be careful about that. Now, from a human design perspective, I want to point out to a lot of you. So if this is you, if you get some type of communication as a Taurus, let's go through the types real quick. If you are a projector, right? Let's say somebody comes back towards you and they invite you to, they want to talk to you or something. You don't have to accept that invitation to talk. Okay, you don't have to accept the invitation to start a new relationship. You don't have to do any of that. Just because somebody comes towards you does not mean that you need to, accept it. And especially if it doesn't come with any type of acknowledgement or recognition towards you, like somebody just saying, oh, I'm sorry for everything, I want to be back in your life, or they just try to pick up where they left off. That is not giving you any type of recognition, and that's what you need as a projector. So be careful about that. People just come in and out of your life, and they're not saying, oh, I want to be friends with you specifically, or I want to be with you specifically because of this specific reason, this. It's just very broad, very general. And it leaves you feeling very bitter every time because you're like, they're just coming in and out. If you are a generator or a manifesting generator, and somebody does come back towards you, are you excited about that? Like, how excited are you about it, right? And do you feel like it's going to bring you frustration if you allow somebody back in your life? Because if you're excited, that's a good sign. But if you're excited and very frustrated, that is not a good sign. So you can be excited and frustrated with a circumstance, but I feel like if it's more frustrating for you because it's unstable, it's inconsistent, then it's not worth it. So be careful about that. And then if you're a manifester, right? Somebody coming towards you, if you feel like this thing is not going to bring you peace, it's going to bring you very much anger, or somebody comes in trying to control you, you are supposed to take the lead and call the shots about what it is that you want from the connections you're in. So if that situation does not allow you to do that, or there's still an imbalance there, don't do it. And then reflectors, a lot of you are going to need a lot more time than somebody gives you to be like, if somebody's pushing you to make a decision, like, or trying to force an apology on you or force you to do something, don't do it if you're not ready. You need more time. If it's okay to say, I need more time, I'm not sure. And if somebody really wants to be back in your life, they'll be patient. So there's that part of it. Okay. Let's see. What else do we need to know for Taurus about fact checks? Fact checking for Taurus. Still angry or hurt? What else do we have to... Whoa. What else do we need to know for Taurus for fact check? Recognition, manager, rejection, rest, fame, friendships. Okay. I feel like, honestly, like, for Taurus Sun and Taurus Rising especially, it's like a real time of like looking at every area of your life and just reassessing everything, like from your friends to your work to your family to how much rest you're getting. It's like go down the list and look at everything: mental, emotional, physical, sexual, romantic, everything, and like reassess all of these areas of your life to see what you need to cut out, what you need to put in, what you need to let go of, what you need to accept more of. You have rest and you have crying or release, right? So there's a lot that you have to figure out and navigate balance surrounding. For those of you who have recognition and fame, you have fact check. So there is something here that is likely coming towards you, or you're moving into like another position for some of you, like a higher position in your job, career, something like that. And you want to make sure you know what all is going to be required of you to get to that place. So this is where Mercury retrograde is helping you. It's like, before you take that step into this new job, this new relationship, this new position in your life, this new opportunity, go and revise and really figure out what steps you need to take. This is the time for planning it out. You guys are all about stability. You're all about taking your time and doing things effectively, efficiently. And like, you don't like those big surprises of like big changes. This is your time to like make sure you have the groundwork laid out. You're like, okay, so I know that in order to get to this, I need to do this. So it's like coming up with like a practical plan to get you to where you need to be. You're like, I want this kind of job. I need to start working on these kind of skills, especially if you're a projector. I want to share my wisdom here. I need to gather up information and get ready. For reflectors, I have something that excites me and I want to like start this new business, but I don't have anything to respond to just yet. Generators, you can still be working on your craft. You can still be practicing. You can still be building your brand so that when you do have something to respond to, something that gives you that prompt, it's time to go, it's time to launch, it's time to share, you're ready. You ain't scrambling to try to get it all built up, right? So this is your time to look over everything that you already have planned and then proceed. So let's get a little bit more of advice because there's a couple cards here. I'm not quite sure how they tie in yet. What's the advice for Taurus right now? What's the advice for Taurus with this energy? What's the advice for Taurus right now? Ancestor altar, forgiveness. Writer. Okay. Inner child trauma, life purpose. So yeah, there's a lot that you can get done right now. For many of you, very similar to what I was telling you in your previous reading, like the most recent one I did. Many of you have a lot of downtime right now, or there's a lot of things that you're wanting in your life, and you're like hoping and wishing you're manifesting them. But there has to be that balance, right? So while you are able to manifest and bring things into your reality, what are you doing in preparation for those things is what the place you're in right now. If it's not here yet, that's actually a good thing. You have an advantage to keep preparing, to get your mental health right, to work on some inner child trauma, some mindset things you need to get under control, focusing on other areas of your life, like I mentioned in the previous reading, and figuring out what else you can cut out. That can be resentment, that can be things from your past, hurt, anger, it can be people from your past. If you're like, I want new friends, or I want a new partner, like I want somebody that's more aligned with me, there's someone better, for whatever capacity that is, what are you doing to show the universe that you are ready for that? Like, how are you mirroring that energy back? Because you going back to exes, and you staying in friend groups that you know don't resonate, or you being around people that are not compatible with you, sends that signal to the universe that, oh, Taurus is happy where they are, especially if you're a generator. Especially if you are a generator, you're responding to things that you don't want. So keep that in mind when people come back towards you as well. Old friends or people that are like, hey, just checking in. They weren't good for you. You know that you're not compatible, right? Or it's not very healthy. It's not aiding you in any way. And you respond to those things. The universe sends you that and more and more and more of that. So you want to be careful. But there's a lot for you to do in this downtime, or this meantime, between time, building a stronger connection with your guides, your ancestors, building some type of plan for yourself, and then like finding that balance in your life. So right now is like the balance. It's like the time before the big game, right? You're practicing right now. You're practicing. If you're a football player, you don't just go jump into a big game, right? No, you have to practice. So think of every time in between, especially projectors and reflectors, because you have a lot of time to wait for things to come into your life. Think of the in between time. It's all about perspective, as this is your time to practice, right? You don't have a big game coming up right now. So you have time to practice. You have time to rest. You have time to have fun, right? And you have time to come up with like a plan, how you can strengthen your skills, all that stuff. But it's about what you're doing in this period of like when things are slowing down, or like coming up with practical steps of how things you can get them moving again. So you're very proactive at this time, even though you feel like things are not active as you want them to be, but you can be proactive in a lot of ways. So there's always something to do. Okay. It's just about how you perceive it. So let's see, what else for Taurus? They need to surrender right now. For May, during the retrograde, what does Taurus need to surrender? Nothing. Oop. Surrender low self-esteem. It said, and surrender defensiveness. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. So again, reflecting right now on everything in your life, Taurus has a direct correlation to self-esteem, because second house is correlated to Taurian themes: money, income, self-worth, because our self-worth reflects our inner world, reflects our outer world. So a lot of the situation that you have engaged in right now, or like things that you have led up to this point, shows you a reflection of where you're at self-esteem wise. So if you're not happy in your circumstances, it could be a reflection of your self-esteem. Not everything, but some things that we have a choice whether to stay or leave is a reflection of what you feel like you deserve. So if you're in unhappy relationships, friendships, things like that, and you have a choice to walk away, but you choose to stay, that's a reflection of your self-esteem. So once you deal with the self-esteem issue, you can't change anybody else. So once you change yourself, then you will see, oh, okay, I see how I settled. I see how I stayed in these relationships that were not really reflecting how I truly feel about myself, but this is what I subconsciously feel like I deserve. So I'm staying here. Because anything you feel like you deserve, you're going to go towards that. But if you don't, on any level in your life, you will stay. Surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So be careful of defensiveness when people are trying to help you or maybe show you a different way or give you other options or trying to somehow give you some help in a way. And you don't have to take anybody's help or suggestions, but you don't have to get defensive about it. Just try to listen and be like, okay, thank you, but I don't think that's helpful for me, or I didn't really want that, or I don't ask for that. Whatever. All right. Any other last advice for Taurus? Magician again. Okay, Magician, y'all are manifesting. Come on. What else for Taurus? The Hermit. Virgo energy is strong here. What else for Taurus? But yeah, I see things definitely getting better and better and better for you guys. Slowly but surely, of course, as they have been for quite some time. But it's literally about finding that middle ground for you guys. It's finding that middle ground between believing and manifesting and waiting for things to come towards you, whether that be inspiration, whether that be energy, whether that be time, whether that be the opportunity itself, and then coming up with a plan of how to execute that or coming up with steps on how to do it. So it's that balance of like masculine and feminine energy of like doing and being. So that's where you guys are at in the middle, finding those two things. But it's like you're right on the edge of it, like you're right there. So that's where there has to be like, it's like one last switch, one last step that has to commence before everything really falls in place. Hermit card, I see a lot of you disconnecting this month or like really reflecting. That's where you really need to be reflecting, trying to see where you need to straighten some things up. Eight of Pentacles reverse can be where you're procrastinating, where you're being kind of sloppy, or where you're being lazy in certain ways. You need to, come up with that. Ace of Swords in reverse. I see that some of you still don't have a clear direction actually about where you want to go or how you want to get there. You don't have to plan out every single detail, of course, but a lot of you, the vision is very blurry, or you're saying that you want one thing, but your actions are reflecting something else. So that is sending mixed signals to the universe. If you're getting mixed signals from your circumstances, you're sending mixed signals. That's how the universe works. It's just mirroring our energy. So once you can like be more decisive and say, okay, if this is what I want, then I know I have to cut this out. If this is what I want, I know I have to take this step, and it's like Leo energy, finding your strength, finding your inner courage, your confidence, working on your self-esteem, because everything is like a domino effect. You work on your self-esteem, you get more of a clear vision about what you want, what's going to make you happy, and then you're able to see the next step that is right in front of you to take. Or maybe it does take courage to even take that step at all. Some of you have not even taken that first initial step, which is going to then have a domino effect of giving you the next step and the next step and the next step. So sometimes you just have to take one step, just one step, Taurus. Take just one step in the direction of something that scares you or that's unfamiliar, and then the next step will show up. You don't have to worry about taking all the steps at once, but at least try to move in that direction and take it one step at a time so that, you still have your comfortability and your sense of feeling stable, but stability comes from in here, not what you have out here. All right, so that's what we have for you, Taurus. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great, amazing May. Stay calm during this retrograde. Take your time. Be vigilant and do everything as you need to do it the right way. Okay, don't skip steps. So you'll have to go back. Thank you, Taurus. I am at Tarot by Bronx and everything.